Hey everyone, how's it going? So, getting the garage cleaned up so I can get the Hornet in here. I just want to show you real quick what I got, and I'm going to do an unboxing here. I picked up a set of jack stands yesterday, and I'll show you that in a second. But here's the inside of the garage. I got it pretty straightened out, enough to get the car in. I can work on, all the junk I have on the sides. I can work on that during the week. But I got the main part cleaned. You couldn't even walk in here before there was so much junk. As you see, I got junk outside still. I got my air compressor that I got for free that I got to figure out what's wrong with it. I have my old Craftsman, which I picked up from New York, and I got to fix that. I have that air compressor, which is this is an interesting one. This has a built-in air dryer and everything else to it. It's actually from a dental office. I got that one on a trade for something. So supposedly it works. I don't know. Never hurts to have an extra tank though. So what I wanted to show you was this. So I picked up a set of jack stands yesterday, and I already have several, but I needed two more. And I usually try to go for the better ones whenever I buy a set of jack stands. And the reason for that is the footprint. Yes, they're more expensive, yes, but the footprint also helps stabilize whatever you have up on a jack stand, especially if you're going to have all four wheels off the ground, which I plan on, kind of like the Camaro, which is in the next bay over. So let me just show you what I got. So I went to Harbor Freight and I picked up Daytona 6-ton jack stands. Now, 12,000 pounds each. Am I ever going to lift anything that's that heavy? No, never. But I don't even know where I got that jack stand from. I have two of them. I think somebody gifted them to me. I'm not even sure. I don't know what they're capable of holding. I use those as a secondary stop, basically. I would never use them to keep the car up in the air with me laying underneath it. But if I'm doing brakes in the driveway and I have a jack holding it up and I need a jack stand, I'll use those. But like I said, I would never trust those to hold the car because I don't know what the ratings are. I haven't the slightest idea. So, but yeah, let me just show you real quick. Let me unbox this and let me show you that I did buy this just yesterday. So here, if you look close, you can see my name and everything else on there. And you could see 8563, and I think that was the total with tax, yeah. 8539. I'm looking at it backwards because it shows up backwards on the camera. At least I hope it does. Let me verify that real quick. Okay, so what I'm looking at is a mirror image. I wasn't positive, so what you're seeing is correct. So yeah, I had just picked these up last night, so I'm gonna unbox them now. Let me just put the receipt to the side. So I have it for later just in case, although everything's on their records, so they know what I bought and what I didn't buy. Yeah, let me do an unboxing real quick. I usually don't like to do unboxings and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, I paid for them, but at least this way you get to see what you get. Because you have no idea what you get. So let me show you. And then I'll explain too, well, yeah, nice wall. I'll explain too why I prefer the larger of the jack stands. So I got a razor knife. If you're going to use a razor knife or any kind of knife, obviously be careful so you don't cut yourself. So there we go. We got it open. There's a piece of cardboard that separates it. Now you have the stand part of the jack. And these are pretty heavy cast, some type of a cast. I don't know if it's cast iron, I haven't the slightest idea. I'm not really that concerned. Take each individual one out. And now they give you on here too, they have these locks. These locks go through these holes here, and I'll explain that in a minute. I'm gonna probably have to cut this taped on piece here off. Again with the razor knife. So this pin, let me make sure you can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, you can. So this pin basically would go through here once you have it jacked up and you have the jack stand locked in place. So basically what you do is you take this out. This is your release handle. If you look inside, you can see the mechanism that locks it in place. So what you need to do is you're going to drop this in, and you're going to have these teeth grabbing this arm. So you need to pull this arm up, actually, and drop this in place. Be careful, don't keep your fingers in here, because if you keep your fingers down here like this, and you let that go, that thing can come down and pinch your fingers and give you a big ouchie. So now, let me see if I can get this in a position where you can actually see what I'm talking about. Let's see. So now here, as it comes up and locks, you could take this pin and put that in place. So now with it in place, if you were to accidentally try to release it, you can't. It locks everything in place. Right? Now, this, what is that? That I'm gonna show you in a second. Let me get everything unboxed, and then I'm gonna show you that at a different angle probably, because I know the angle's probably kind of horrible. Okay, here's your next one. They also give you instructions on how to use them. So in case you don't know how to use them, there are instructions in the box. Okay, so, sorry, I know I'm probably off camera here. So here we go again. Careful so you don't cut yourself. Filming that. No, I'm actually kind of off, sorry. I just cut that piece of paper off. So there again, we're gonna drop this in place. You can't just drop it. See what happens? You can't just drop it. So you have to lift up on that and put it down. Now, see how that works? When it's down all the way, all you gotta do is lift up and it'll automatically set to the next one. And make sure it's always locked in place before you do anything. If you can't get this piece in, then you're not fully locked in place. You're not in the right spot. Like if you somehow manage to get partially into one, this thing will not go in. I don't even know if I can actually do it because it's so difficult to do. Like let's say you're kind of there. See, it actually won't allow you to go through. And now it just jams everything up. See, you got to make sure that you're all the way in and then it goes in and locks. Okay, so what is the point of this? The point of this tab here is so you just can't take this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a hammer and a punch. And we are going to knock that thing in a little bit. All right, hang on 1 second. Let me get a hammer and punch. I know I'm going off whack. Hang on. All right, I guess it's going to be Harbor Freight Day today because my hammer here is a Pittsburgh from Harbor Freight and my punch is also a Pittsburgh from Harbor Freight. So basically what you're going to do is just take a punch and whack that tab in. Did I hit it enough? I may want to hit it a little bit more. Hang on. And now, see that? Now the jack won't come out. I better have to zoom out. Hang on. So there you go. See, it'll actually lift the whole thing off the ground. All right, so, oops, sorry. So now what I wanted to show you is this. If you look at the basic footprint of the two jack stands, this one is pretty easy to knock over. This one isn't. You have a bigger footprint. It's harder to actually tip it over. If you're to have the car jacked up and on jack stands, and let's say you decided to now jack the other end of the car up, I've seen it happen where it'll pitch the car one way or the jack will pull it one way and knock it off the jack stands. That's why I prefer the larger footprint of the larger jack stand. I'm never going to meet a 12,000 pound specification for one of these. I mean, it's 24,000 pounds in total. Never going to happen. And if you think about it, when I have all 4 jack stands on the car, it's going to be 48,000 pounds. A Hornet's lucky if it weighs 3,000 pounds. So a little bit of overkill, but I'd rather have that than a car fall on me. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. I thought it was interesting. Yeah, it's got a 10-inch by 11-inch footprint. I just saw it on the box. Yeah, 10-inch by 11-inch. And I think the quality is pretty darn good, especially for the price. The price ain't bad at all. So, I don't know. So I thought for some reason I thought I had blue at home, but I have green. So now I have 4 green. All right, well that's it. Hopefully you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.